It is my pleasure to introduce Andy Levine, the Administrative Director at Maple Village Waldorf School in Long Beach, California. I'm so glad your camera works, Andy. They are seeking financing to purchase the school building they have occupied for the past dozen years. This loan will mature in 3 years and carries a 10% interest rate per annum. The closing date for this investment is July 28th. Welcome, Andy. Please tell us about your school.
Hi, thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you everyone for having us on here. My name is Andy Levine and I'm the Administrative Director at Maple Village Waldorf School. I'm also a parent here. My 10-year-old started in the parent-child class at age 2 and has gone through preschool, kindergarten, and is now heading into 5th grade, which blows my mind. My youngest started when she was only 6 weeks old in our parent-child program and is now heading to kindergarten. I am very invested in this community, both as an administrator and as a parent. If you aren't familiar with Waldorf education, it is a unique pedagogical approach to teaching, what we call the head, heart, and hands, or more commonly known as thinking, feeling, and doing. Our teachers bring the curriculum to life using various art mediums, music, and other modalities. So students are not only sitting and passively receiving the knowledge, but it really lives in them. For example, they're stomping when they're learning numbers, and it activates the brain and muscle memory, which works in conjunction with things like rote memorization and other modalities often seen in schools. Maple Village is heading into its 17th year in Long Beach, California. We've been renting our campus from a local church for all 17 years. And 17 years ago, we started with only 2 rooms. In 2020, when the congregation folded, we were able to take over the entire property, which is just shy of 12,300 square feet and sits on a 19,000 square foot lot. In 2021, the church offered to sell us the property off market, which is a dream in the California real estate marketplace. So we entered escrow in the spring of 2022. Maple Village provides more than an education for the 200 plus students that we serve. As a school, we feel that we not only hold the students, but all of the families at the center of everything that we do. And in turn, the Maple Village community finds its strengths in the relationships that are formed and fostered on campus and outside of school. Our enrollment has increased by 200% since returning from distance learning. And we want to be able to offer this education to anyone desiring it. So we spend at least 25% of our annual potential income on what we call our tuition adjustment program, so grants. We're also a nationally recognized Green Ribbon School. We're frequently voted the best early childhood in Long Beach. The accolades are numerous. I don't need to go into all of them, but at the end of the day, the school is helping to create inspired, self-confident, free-thinking individuals that value community, knowledge, creativity. They're good stewards of the earth. These are just good humans that we're trying to put out into the earth. And I feel that many companies now are really looking for these creative solution seekers, and that's exactly what we're fostering at Maple Village. It's really become a pillar in Long Beach. We're known for many of our community involvement programs. We have an annual harvest fair that really focuses on the different cultural harvest celebrations throughout the world. At the center of our work is a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion work. So this is a safe space. All are welcome. And that's just a little bit about Maple Village in Long Beach. I'm happy to take any questions.
Yeah, so again, please feel free to submit questions, but I do have one because in the past we've talked numerous times about the school and this financing really is just intended for about 3 years. How has the community and the parents responded to the fact that this is the permanent home and the renovation work and all the things that you're doing on campus?
Thank you for asking that. It's been really overwhelming. So in 2020, as with many independent schools, our enrollment dipped, and especially because we are a screen-free school, meaning we don't use media in the classroom, although it certainly is all around us. So in that sense, some families just weren't as familiar with like the distance learning modalities, and so enrollment did dip, and again it's bounced back 200%. And with that, I think because people were really seeing that they wanted something different for their students, for their children, and also the social emotional aspects that Waldorf education is able to address, the families really got behind it. So we've had our strongest development that we've ever had in our history. We've raised over $300,000 quite quickly for capital funds, and all of the renovations that went into it last summer, and then a few more for this summer. It's so adorable when families who've been there for a while, they come in and they're like blown away because they couldn't come on campus during 2021, and then they returned this past year. They're just really blown away by all of it, which then just kind of helps them open up their pocketbooks a little bit more. We also have hired a development team, and so they've also been working on helping us achieve some grants and different avenues to increase our fundraising. So it's well within our capabilities to be able to pay back this loan within 3 years, and all of our projections are really strong. Our early childhood program, we've been investing a lot into our early childhood, which is of course the pool from which we grow the rest of the grades. So into grade 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way to 8th grade. So we're opening up a third preschool because the demand is just that large for next year. So we really have a strong future ahead.
Yeah, clearly. Can you describe kind of the student size relative to the capacity of the building? Do you have room to grow? Do you anticipate, needing more building space in the future? What does that look like?
Yeah, so because of the third preschool, we're actually relocating our parent-child program, which has also grown tremendously. It used to meet twice a week, or there were 2 classes that you could go to. And now there's 2 classes per day, 5 days a week. That's just how many people are really looking for this environment. So we're moving that off campus into another church location, actually, as renters for a very, very low market price, which we're really excited about having that partnership. But so that helps create a little bit more capacity for things like this third preschool. And then the classrooms, some of them, I would say that 2 or 3 of them are pretty close to capacity, and that the rest have at least anywhere from, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 more students to up to like 8 students more that could fit in that classroom. So there is some room to grow in our current building. My long-term goals are to have 2 separate campuses, but that's probably putting the cart before the horse, and let's get through this first. But there's definitely room to grow. We really want to be able to offer this education, like I said, to anybody who wants it. So we will make the space, and we're pretty creative with the space as it is.
Yeah, I can attest to how everyone is so dedicated. I remember the first time we talked, how long ago has it been? It's been a while because for those who actually have initially already demonstrated support of the project, knew that we had to pause your campaign for a little bit because of some building permit challenges, but that's all been resolved. And then I have seen your office transform the background when it's real background from maybe truly like a corner to now the office looks amazing.
Thank you.
I know that along the way, so many people have come in to help. So maybe I'll just wrap it up with one more question.
Sure.
If there's one takeaway you want potential investors to go away with, what would that be?
I think that the impact that this community has for each individual family, and then that ripple effect that it has into the community at large, is massive. To put in short, if we don't secure this building, which it's all heading towards closing escrow in mid-August, but if we were not to secure this building, if we were to for some reason lose it, the impact would be huge. It would be 200 plus students without a place to call like a second home, really, and without that family that we've built. I think the community part of it would in some ways live on, but without the enrichment of the Waldorf education that we're able to offer. And again, just even as a parent, the effect that this school has had on on just my family, and I can only imagine for the 150 plus other families that go to school here, it's really shifted the entire dynamic of our family. It has taught me as a human, as an adult, I think just as much as it's teaching my child. So the impact of a loan like this really is much more widespread than just buying a building. It's really about upholding and supporting a community that's doing really good things out in the world.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing the history of the school and all that you're doing with us. We appreciate you, and thanks for joining us. I don't see any questions, but if we do, I'll reach out to you and then connect again.
Great. Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
everybody's time. Thank you.
Happy summer.